This is a production of Cornell University.
Hi everyone, my name is Kensy Rodriguez. I am a PhD student at Cornell University, and today I'm with
Steve Reiners. I'm a professor of horticulture here at Cornell University and a statewide vegetable specialist.
Where are we today, Steve?
Kenzie, we're in my pumpkin field, and you're actually holding one that's a small, we'll call this a Jack B. Little type. It's a small pumpkin, and it's kind of early, but it's turning color, so might as well pull it out.
So you think this is a good time to harvest pumpkin?
Ideally, we'd like it to be a little bit later than that, because if you feel this, the skin is still a little bit soft. I can still puncture it with my thumbnail, so we like it to be much harder than that. But for some reason, a couple of these early ones have just sort of turned that color.
So we have also some pumpkins here. Can you talk us about it, and is it ready to harvest?
Yeah. So this one, it's a pumpkin. I forget the name of the variety, but it probably will get to around 15 to 25 pounds, depending on how good the growing conditions are. And we can see this is still early, so this will double to triple in size, I would think, before we're ready to harvest, and it will start turning that orange color as well. Typically, we like the pumpkins to start to come in usually in mid-September, because all the pumpkins that we have here, these are not being grown for people to eat. These are just ornamentals for Halloween and for Thanksgiving and for people to decorate with. So again, we still have a ways to go with this one. It's still very green. If I were to harvest that right now and leave it there, it would never ripen. It would never turn orange. It would just kind of stay green and probably slowly rot.
So with pumpkins, if I harvest now, it won't get the color after I harvest?
No, it really doesn't do that at all. Once it's starting to show some color, and you might harvest it at that point, it will eventually ripen up, but if it's showing no color at all, it just won't ripen.
So if I want to have pumpkins early in the season, it's better to have a pumpkin like this that will get the color earlier?
Probably, if you want pumpkins early for some reason, although I can't imagine why you want August pumpkins, but if you wanted them earlier like that, go with a variety that's going to give you a smaller pumpkin. Usually the ones that are over 10 or 15 pounds take longer. So go with something that's going to give you a 5 to 10 pound pumpkin, and that might be a little bit earlier. The other option you can have to try to get earlier pumpkins is you could use transplants as compared to direct seeding in your garden. We've also used some black plastic mulch that we've got out here. So again, we have trickle irrigation underneath the plastic mulch. We direct seeded these. We just made holes in the plastic mulch and we direct seeded it. But you could actually grow transplants in the greenhouse and bring those out, and that would give you an earlier start as well.
And once they get the color, let's say the orange color, how long they can stay in the vine, or can they stay there for longer, or can I harvest right away?
Usually the problem is with a field of pumpkins like this in the fall, we have a lot of powdery mildew that's coming in, and the leaves are starting to die back, so there's not really anything useful in terms of letting the pumpkin stay on a dying vine longer, and some of the mildew can start moving into the stem. So typically what we'd like to do is, once you start to see it turning color, there's no reason to sort of keep it, at the very least, clip it off the vine. You can leave it out here, make sure you put it up so it's not sitting in a low spot, but you can leave it out here. If you had like a little pick your own operation, you'd want to leave them out here, but have them cut. Or you could also bring them in, put them in a barn, get them out of the weather. That'll work out well too.
It's been a month since we came to this field, and today we're going to talk about harvesting pumpkins. So Steve, can you tell us about your pumpkins today? What do you have here?
Yeah, I'm happy to. So they look a little different than the last time we were here. They ripened up, as you can see. I wanted to show you this pumpkin here, which is really nice. It's good and firm. It's still attached. The vine is still attached. The stem is still attached here. But what I want to do now is just cut this. And I brought these little shears here just so I can get a cleaner cut instead of just trying to pull it off. And the thing is, you want to get it off the vine right now because basically this vine is dead. It's not getting any photosynthesis. The only thing that could be going into the stem now is some disease, mildew, and stuff like that. So let's cut that off, and we can put this now. You can put this outside as a decoration. You can put this in your garage. Probably the best thing to do would be to take it out of the field.
See, does it matter if I harvest the length of the stem that I leave?
I like to have at least maybe 2 inches or so. You could go longer if you wanted to. But what I like about this stem, you can feel this. It's just really, really hard. It It's not papery. Sometimes if there's disease in here, it'll become papery. If you were going out somewhere to buy that, that's something you want to avoid. You want the good hard stem. And the other key too is when you're after you harvest it and you're bringing it back, you want to always put a hand underneath it because by doing it this way, it just is a better way to carry that pumpkin.
How does the exterior look like? Is it hard? Is it like soft? Whenever you harvest it, like this part of the.
This is definitely you want it nice and hard. So again, and that's what you want to be looking for. I have an example here where you can see this side doesn't look bad, but if you look over here, you can see how this is kind of leathery looking, but it's soft. If I pushed hard enough, I put my finger right through that. So this one is not going to last very long.
We have another pumpkin here. So why is that greener kind of like getting a core, but it seems like it didn't get to the point that we will want it?
Yeah, so a pumpkin like this was probably the second fruit on the vine. So this might have been the first one. So again, it's the first one that sets. It starts growing quicker. It's all the nutrients from the plant are going to that. And as this one starts to ripen, then this one starts to grow. But because it's so late, it doesn't get as big. And that's why now it's just starting to ripen, and you can see how much smaller it is.
So if I harvest, let's say the first one, and I see this one, I shouldn't worry. I should just leave it and then harvest it later on the season because it will get the color.
Yeah, you could even at this point you could harvest it and put it in a nice warm, dry place, and it'll slowly turn orange.
Yeah, and we also have another pumpkin here that you put some letters on. So
Right.
When did you do that?
Yeah, we did this when the pumpkin was probably about half this size, so obviously it was still green. And what you want to do is, I think I use like a Phillips head screwdriver, but you don't go too deeply on it, and you can put any kind of a name on it there. What will happen is this will develop a callus, and you can see. So this is nice and firm and hard; it's not rotten at all, and the letters will expand.
So Steve, why are pumpkins your favorite vegetable?
It's the first vegetable I ever grew when I was a kid, when I was 8 years old, in my backyard. So there's a soft spot for that. But I don't know, there's just something about pumpkins on a day like this in the fall. It's sunny, it's cool, it's brisk. It feels good to be out of the pumpkin field.
So we just learned about pumpkin harvesting, so I hope you enjoyed this video. And you can watch more of these videos in the Cornell Horticulture Vegetable Production website, so check out. And we'll hope you have a great day.
This has been a production of Cornell University, on the web at cornell.edu.